What's up, YouTube? What up, snappers? It's Fizz. How you doing today? Subscribe to my channel, and I'm thankful for all my 67 subscribers that I do have. So bless you very much. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to talk about why I stopped playing video games, and I also want to reminisce on some of my games, my favorite games that I used to play, and what I thought of them. And so there's a couple reasons why I stopped playing video games altogether. One would be I have better things to do. I do so many other things. I wouldn't want to play video games. Not even necessarily that I wouldn't want to. There's so much stuff to do in real life that I'd rather do that than play video games. There's just so many more things to do. Also, when I was younger, I played a shitload of video games, like a shitload. So maybe that's why I don't want to play as much as or play at all now, because I played so much before. I mean, I used to play like all the time and really enjoy it, and then get like my adrenaline pumping. Every time I played video games, like basically my hands would sweat, my feet would get sweaty, and I'd just be like, I just get real pumped no matter what the game is, and just get like real anxious. And not too many things at all really did that in my life, other than playing video games. I'd get like the controller so sweaty, like if I was passing it to someone else, they wouldn't pass it back because the controller would be so sweaty. And I don't know, I wasn't doing it on purpose, but it was just me getting anxious and being like real into the game. There's nothing, I can't really think of anything offhand that I did outside of video games that made my hands like sweat and clammy or whatever. That's pretty much it. The only way or reason. It just pumps my adrenaline, and now that I know, and things like that. Even if it's like a simple game, it really didn't matter. It still did it. But then again, I like to play games that were adrenaline pumping. Yeah, so that's one reason. Because I used to play them all the time, and I have better things to do, or more things to do, other things to do. Two, it came to a point, I guess I just kind of got bored of them. They just weren't as entertaining as they once were. And I just wasn't fascinated with them like I once was, with the storylines or maybe the gameplay, or versing other people online, or just playing with other people in general. That also, number 3, goes into this. I used to play with people. Majority of the time I would play with people I know. Maybe that's why they got me into it, because I don't know if I would have started playing games all by myself, because it was just really weird, because a lot of my friends played video games at the time. Of course, a lot of people do, but that's how I got, because I never really knew nothing about it or had any interest. Like, I don't want to say I had any interest, but I knew nothing about it, but they were playing video games, so that's kind of how I got brought upon it. It's kind of like a whirlpool. It sucked me in like a funnel. And I would play with people all the time. Usually, again, people like with next to me, always playing games, like not online, but also online, but more so just playing with someone next to me, like with a friend or something. But then, yeah, obviously playing online too. Just that we'll touch on, since this is reason 3 or whatever, we'll touch on. I also felt like when I did communicate with people online, or like through, you know, the microphone, whether it was friend or not, I mean, it was funny, I guess, but even when I was playing next to someone, but especially online, you're so into the game, it's like you're on a whole different reality, and I have no concept of time or anything that's going on beyond this screen. So again, it's like a warp hole, and it's like a whole nother simulation. Even when I talk to people online, I don't feel like I was getting a genuine connection. Maybe that's not maybe it was because I wasn't seeing their face. So I like doing things face to face anyway, for the most part. It's easier for me, and then you get like a reaction. Like I can say whatever I want to the camera, but everyone's going to view this in future time. Well, it'll be present for them, but future to me, because I'm not getting a reaction for them. So take that as far as you want. But I'm just better with people in general, and when I'm playing with people online, and there's also delayed reactions, like you're typing in something, if you were talking to somebody through typing, messaging, just through the microphone, just hearing their voice. Even when I'm next to a person, like I'm not really paying attention to them, I'm more so focused on the matter of the game, though that was probably a little funner. Yeah, so those were 3. Number 4, well, as for the reasons I stopped playing, that was pretty much it, I guess. Oh, I do have one more that I can think of off the top of my head. It was, like, I sit down to do, like, I don't like sitting down, for one, and I sit down to do, when I do sit down, I do certain things when I sit down. So, and one of them obviously is not playing video games. And this happens a lot in my life when I sit down. Sometimes I'm just resting. That's usually what happens when I do sit down. But there's other times I'm writing a book, maybe checking something on my phone, doing something on the computer, YouTube related, or just something else when I'm sitting down. So like, I can only spend so much time sitting down, which I think this is like a big thing, especially to me, because there's only so many things I can do sitting down, because one, I don't like sitting down and being like that inactive. So when I do sit down, I use my time wisely, and there's only so many things I can do when I sit down, and video games just ain't one of them. And it's also a reason why I don't do a lot of other things sitting down. Well, things like that. Yeah, so, and then 5, which is kind of related to 3 or something. A lot of my friends don't, well, the few friends that I do, well, they do play video games, but the people that I used to play video games with, or the games that I like, they don't play. I mean, they stopped playing them and stuff like that. So yeah, and then they also changed a lot of games that I used to play and updated them and made them way worse, and then games got really boring. the game itself, that is, not me getting bored of them, but just being boring and dull. So, wow, that railroad hurts my ass a lot. I wanted to talk about, I guess that was all I had to say. If anything else comes up why I stopped playing, I'll let you know. Overall, I'm just an active person anyway. And it was just funner also playing with people you know. It definitely was. No question about it. And it was an experience, and I can't say that I really, and like fantasy and creations maybe, but I don't know how much of the simulation and the video graphics and stuff like that I actually took into real life instead of like other things I could have been doing. But I guess that's what I was doing at the time, and I don't have regrets. So I'm gonna get into some of my favorite games and why I like them and reasons I played them. I guess we'll start with Sims, though it's real funny because they just simulate real life. I did like this game. I also had a problem, especially when I was younger, of obtaining high quality video games and getting access to them and without the lagging and high quality, and that makes you not want to play some games for sure. And just being able to afford it, I really didn't. A funny story, I guess I'll tell, interrupt that story. I always, of course, like all my friends had, you know, pretty much big TVs or nice systems. And then I finally went to work like at 16. And I saved up. Like I always saved my money. I was really good with saving money and always really good. And I saved up once I started working, and I got a TV to play. And once I got the TV, it's like I didn't have none of friends to play with anymore. So it was just like pointless to getting the TV basically. It was my first 42. And I had it ever since. Then I sold it to my brother. Now it's on this wall as a monument. Or just like how they carry like big taxidermy and bears and skulls, freaking raccoons and deer on the wall. And it's kind of like what he did to my TV. Anywho, so I used to play Sims. Though some video games I used to play, I would have to go somewhere because my computer sucked. Sims is just a one-player game, and I used to play it. It was fun. I don't know what I liked about it. Maybe like the creating, design of the house, and fulfilling the needs of the sim, your character. It was interesting. Interesting for sure. And then, you know, having to earn money and build your character up and designing your house and doing all these things. That was like The Sims 2, maybe a little bit of The Sims 3, I think. But that wasn't my favorite game, but it was an interesting game, I will admit. So we'll get into some more, I don't know what to describe them because they're all pretty much the same. My favorite game for the online play was probably Gears of War. It's probably the game I was maybe so best at. I guess The Sims really wasn't maybe not as stimulating as an adrenaline pumping. So I'm not sure though, but yeah. So Gears of War, I played all of them basically, and online was the best mode. That was probably my most played online game, my favorite, definitely. And I just like it because the gameplay was just like, I won't say it was unrealistic, but it was just so easy and nappy to play. It was just like, there wasn't a lot of rules necessarily to it. It was just kind of like real free to play, and it wasn't real strict and stuff like that. Whereas like I feel like games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, some of it was alright, but it was just, some of the games just sucked, and you just died way too quick in some of those games. Like, just, it feels like too much, and it just got real boring, and it just seemed like way too fast paced. Whereas Gears of War was kind of like, I just like the way you could like go on walls and you could bounce around. The movement was just more kind of like authentic in a way, but I don't know. I just really like the boards that you played on the online play, and when you were playing with people, it was such a fun time. It was just really fun. It was just a real creative game. I really liked it, and it was probably one of my favorite games. The online play for sure. I kind of like lost interest in gameplay, especially because the story got real weak in a lot of games where there really was none. And so we'll bounce from that to saying my favorite gameplay of all time definitely was Kingdom Hearts, no question, 1 and 2. Especially when I played it, I was like addicted to this game. I really loved the characters, the storyline, and the gameplay. It was just an excellent game all around. I mean, that game probably deserves a 5 out of 5. I don't even know about the little music that was in there, but that one song was just phenomenal too. And the overall gameplay was just incredible. And the storyline was just like real like indulging and welcoming and inviting you to it. It was just real cinematic. It was just crazy how they did that game, and especially when I was younger, I bought into it like a lot more and felt it like crazy. It was definitely hands down my favorite game. This game didn't have any online play, but I just really loved the characters, the storylines, and I guess Disney and all that at the time, especially, you know, even played with the movies that I was kind of liked when I was a kid, so maybe that's even why, like Halloween Town or whatever. My mom used to watch that movie like crazy, and that's definitely in Kingdom Hearts. And just the gameplay and overall creativity, there's no really games that ever compare to the gameplay and just how it was made and just the cinematic scenes, though I also didn't play every game. Definitely hands down my favorite. The storylines were incredible. Again, there was no online play, and it was a one-player, single rule game. And that was definitely my favorite game for sure. I would rate that 5 out of 5. Pretty much every game that I'm rating is 5 out of 5, I would say. There would only be one more, I guess, game that I really like to play. Like really like to play, and it was online on the computer. A lot of people actually play this. RuneScape. Now, it was funner when I played with RuneScape is actually an all-online game, though it can feel like an individual game, but it was all online. I played it before they did all that major updates, which I didn't really play when they made all the updates. It got really weird. It used to be way funner and stuff like that. I might have played it once or twice. I mean, the graphics got completely drastically changed, but I didn't play the game for the graphics. It was really fun playing this game with all the online community, but especially, again, it was fun because I had friends right around. I could call them on the phone, or they were real close to me, and we could play, and it was just really fun playing with them. Again, it was a lot playing with people more so. I mean, I did, you know, it is a role-playing game. It can be individually conquested or oriented, but it is also an online game that goes all the time. There's different worlds to go into. We're just like different communities, I guess. And again, I really like playing with my friends. And ultimately, my favorite thing to do in this game, when I kind of like really got into it, was definitely like versing other people, which is just like, there'd be the wild, and you'd go into the wild and you'd fight people basically. It was like a do or die type of situation, and you'd be kind of like strategic about it and risking whatever you want. And you just verse other people, and then you can gang up on other people. Depending where you're at, you could have a gang of people attacking other people, and you never know who was going to come in. It was just kind of a real wildfire at that point. That was really cheap. So yeah, that's what I like most about that game. It was just real interesting. There wasn't too many games like it. Of course, that's what made the game anyway. And it was unique, and it was interesting, again. But again, it was mostly for the online play and playing with other friends. So yeah, and then there was different skills you can acquire and different ways to build your character. Again, it really wasn't for the graphics. But yeah. So, snappers, that's pretty much my experience of the games that I played and why I stopped playing video games and my favorite games and the reasons why they were my favorite. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And the experience box below, let me know how you feel. I'd love to hear. Inspiring. We can inspire one another. Give me a thumbs up if you played any of these video games, and you still like video games. Give me a thumbs down if you got so warped in a video game and you never came out and you think it's real life. I have nothing against video games, might as well say this, and I don't, you know what I mean, I have nothing against them. If you want to play them, you know. Some people make money off of them, some people enjoy it for merely entertainment. Yeah, so if you want to play them, play them. Again, I have nothing against anybody or anything. So definitely, if you want to play them, this is just why I stopped playing them. And it's not like I forced myself to stop playing them. I kind of like, in a way, grew out of it and just didn't felt the need. And again, I like doing other things instead of playing video games, especially like connected to like nature. Yeah, this is Fizz. I'm a raw dude. I give raw info and raise awareness about a lot of things. If you have any topic ideas, let me know, or anything you'd like me to discuss, feel free to message me or whatever. Links in the description for further contact. I have music too. You can check out that. And this isn't my only video. Yeah. That's all I'd like to say. Thanks for tuning in.